Welcome back to Rayman 2. Today, we will be finishing the game. This, the prison ship, is the final level. Let's go. No, this is not going to start off with a boss fight. No, instead it's going to start with something much worse. The hardest slide in the game, and the longest slide also. It's ridiculously easy to lose control on this one, at least when you're out of practice the way I was. Luckily, dying at least gives you additional chances to collect all the lumps. Now, much like with all other slides, it's possible to collect all the lumps in one go, but you have to route for that, you have to memorize it, which I just do not do. I could do it, but I didn't. I'm not that professional. There you see, I can barely control this thing. And it continues. The fact that this slide consists of two these equally long sections is the reason why it's the longest in the game. And also why there are a grand total of 94 lumps in this level. The majority of them are in the slide, and from here on I'm just going to cut to the successful runs. There won't be a death reel. There will be a death reel elsewhere. These ramps can be treacherous. Well, this one can be treacherous. And this one killed me a lot of times. I'll just cut to the successful run where I hit the switch by slowing down. There, it looked much easier than it was, as it should. Once again, something that's doable if you know what you're doing, and not doable, well, in one go, if you are me. Almost. Can I do it? No. I'm just going to have to get that off camera. And now we are about to get the last platforming section in the entire game. This is the last, like, proper Rayman 2 gameplay. Because everything that will go on from here, pay attention to this, is going to be a gimmick. A mighty gimmick. This entire end game of Rayman 2, it's gimmick based and it's not good. So cherish this while it lasts. There is absolutely no reason not to just turn around and to do what I'm doing here, but I do it anyway because And contrary to what the prison ship function might suggest, there are not going to be many pirates, many henchmen to fight. No, there's just gonna be this lone mini-boss. Unfortunately, I did not make it with the power fist in... Yes, with the power fist intact. And this is going to take a lot longer than it could have. All that for a switch. And that's it. This is where Rayman 2 ends. This is where regular Rayman 2 ends, and from here on it's just the gimmick which you are about to witness, and I will not comment on it until you... Well, most of you probably know it, but for those of you who do not, I want you to see it first. So if you did not have enough shell, now you get a lot of shell, except now it's flying. This is the gimmick that is used in the remainder of the game and also in the final boss. Unfortunately, it's not very well implemented, the controls are not very intuitive, that's one thing, and secondly, they are extremely sensitive. They are sensitive enough that even the slightest movement will make you go off course. And this can lead to some difficulties in this specific section where you kind of have to maneuver tight, very tight spaces and between the obstacles, fly between the obstacles, and it's really hard, it can get hard. Last time I played the game, which was about 4 years ago, I think I went into triple digits when I was playing this section. This time, luckily, that was not the case, but still I will die a lot, and once we get there, this is going to be a really massive, the most massive death reel you have ever seen me ever do in any game ever. And Rayman 2 is supposed to be an easy game. In theory, the secret is to just move minimally. Minimal movement, nothing unnecessary, but it's easier said than done, especially here. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay. Did you count the deaths? Yes, I want to save the game, and now, even though it's technically a final world, it's not really a world. The Crow's Nest is the final boss fight. Let's go! So this is Razorbeard, or rather Grolgoth, the Deus Ex Machina thing of an exosuit that we never heard of until 20 minutes ago. Now the key here is to repel his own bombs at him, but you don't just do that, you have to align yourself perfectly at the center, otherwise this will happen. However, he will not, if you are aligned properly, there will be no dodging, even if he's very, very far away, like here. He has one additional attack where he jumps on you, but somehow I managed to avoid this in this fight. And this is it, he's beaten. This is where the boss fight really begins, and this is where it can get really, really dicey to the point where you can easily, if you're not prepared, game over. Luckily, I came prepared, so I'll only die a couple of times. Now normally, there's nothing here, and normally you only get 5 shots in this energy thingy that you're carrying. However, one moment. One sec, it's gonna happen. If you go through the very center circle while holding A and space, which are jump and shoot, you go into this tunnel, and if you manage to go through it unscathed, you get a prize. Nothing happened. Wait for it. And the energy thing is now blue, the orb is now blue, and more importantly, the number of shots you get is unlimited. Whereas ordinarily you only get 5. This allows you to not ever have to go into these 3 tunnels anymore, which is a massive, massive advantage over the way this boss fight usually goes, because this allows you to completely avoid one of the attacks of Razorbeard, which is to raise the lava level. However, it does not prevent you from just dying by smashing yourself face first to the wall. And of course you have to get it again. and you have to be very precise. Definitely more precise than that. You saw me just be a little bit off the very center circle, or here, and it's not gonna work. We're almost there. We're almost there. There we go. This secret was probably put there deliberately so that the fight can be cheesed, and while it's still somewhat of a challenge, compared to its normal difficulty, it's very much cheesing it. The devs probably saw how difficult it was in its regular iteration. Because damn can this fight get really, really hard. So if you ever had any bad memories from childhood, from spending hours trying to beat Razorbeard like I do, well, enjoy him getting clowned. And that was Rayman 2. Out of all Rayman games, this one probably stands out the most in that this is the most fairy tale-like game for one thing, but at the same time it's really the darkest of the Rayman games. It also was probably the largest, it has the largest shift in tone and in mechanics compared to its predecessor with Rayman 1, even though honestly the only time there wasn't really a huge difference between two iterations of a Rayman game is between Origins and Legends. Now, I am not saying goodbye completely. For one thing, there are still some extra materials, some extra content in the game that is contingent upon me getting LUMs. I also need to show some of the LUMs in some of the cages that I missed. And another thing is that in the end, there's yet another secret. A little secret, a really stupid secret, but there's a secret right after credits. So, fast forward there, and I will see you there. No, I'll see you in the next video. I will not be talking over the secret, it's stupid enough on its own. Thank you for joining me, I will see you next time, when I'm collecting other LUMs. Goodbye.